What's up guys, Chandler here with Huntnhouse, and today we are going over the 2025 PSE Decree. This is their new aluminum bow for 2025. It is a 31.5 inch axle-to-axle bow with a 6.5 inch brace height, IBO speeds of 337. This one here is in a peak weight of 70 pounds, but it should be offered in 50, 60, 70, and 80 pound peak weights. The cams here are adjustable from 80 to 90% let off in 5% increments. And then the draw length range is 25 to 30.5 inches. Last year's bow was the Evolve DS, which included this new mounted roller guard system. This is a fixed roller guard here with an actual roller, so you're not sliding anymore. That is last year's technology. With that too has these two tapped holes, which allows for their new integrated quiver. It's a two-piece quiver system. It does fit pretty tight to the bow. Going top to bottom from there though, it is still running the EC2 Cam. I don't know if they're going to allow for like the E2 and the S2 cams on these. I think like stock pro shop bows is basically this is how it's going to come with an EC2 cam on it. Again, you do have 80 to 90% let off on here and half-inch increments on the draw length. They are still running that same cable yoke system. Now this isn't technically a floating yoke because it does twist in lock right here, which is nice for micro tuning, which most folks don't use that anymore. They do use the new EZ.220 system for most, of your paper tears or if you're bear shafting or anything like that. It does have a integrated mount on the back, a little hard to see with the whisker biscuit on there. We'll take that off when we do the bow build. You'll see that it's got the dovetail for like the QAD, and it's got two tapped holes for the core mount for like the ham skis. It does have the Picatinny mount here for your sights. One of the nice things that PSE does offer with this is multiple mounting positions. So you have higher and lower mounts, so that tapped hole right there does allow for this guy to come down. Same thing that they've always done on the side. PSE's always been really good about having multiple mounting options for your elevation. But with their Picatinny mount too, this is actually off-centered on the bolt. So if you're having some left-right issues or if you need more windage one way or the other, you can actually take those out and flip it to get you a little more direction. Not that you should need it. I've kind of mentioned that in the Mach 33 video as well. But it's there if you do need it, which is nice. You never know. On the grip here, you got a rubber overmolded grip. They do have a groove in the front, which I do like a groove in the front of the riser. It just kind of helps position that hand, repeatability is a little bit easier with that, especially for like a newer shooter. It does come with their little dampener. We're seeing a lot more of the bow companies using those guys now to help kind of deaden the vibration in the bow. Or you can use this as a lower stabilizer mount as well. And so now we'll go take it to the back, shoot it as if we were a customer, just running the whisker biscuit at our draw length and preferred draw weight. So we are going to shoot this as if I was a customer, kind of give you guys that same, feel and first appearances or initial thoughts as if you guys were when you guys come in here. Most bow shops are going to have you shooting at a pretty close bail here, set at your draw length and preferred draw weight. So this bow is going to be set at 70 pounds and 29 inches. It is set at 80% let off. Here in Nevada, we do have an 80% let off or lower law. So first thought on the draw cycle is that it's definitely stiffer than the Mach 33, which is to be expected. It does have a short brace height, and it does vibrate quite a bit after the shot. But to the draw cycle, this being a little bit shorter brace, if I remember right, because I think this is 6.5 and the other one's going to be 6 5/8. I'm also closer to the top of the cam on this one just by a little bit. So I'm at a D on this. I believe on the Mach 33 I was like a G. Might be off on that, but it's a little bit more towards the middle of the cam, which is usually going to give you a little bit smoother draw cycle when you're closer to the middle of the cam compared to the top of the cam. However, you are going to get more speed, right? So to get more speed, you got to put a little more effort in, and you definitely feel that little bit higher of a peak, it feels like, up front compared to the Mach 33. But it's still a pretty smooth draw cycle. Back wall is really solid, especially for a cable stop. It does vibrate quite a bit. It just now stopped vibrating. You definitely feel that initial pop, and then you feel a good little dung through everything. Make sure that guy's tight. Make sure there's nothing actually rattling loose on the bow, because I don't want to give it an unfair bias opinion. Back wall is definitely nice. I mean, it's obviously comparable and almost the same exact as the Mach 33 that we compared earlier. Yeah, it's definitely got that same PSE rock forward. You throw a stabilizer on it, that'll go away, but there's definitely some vibration, and the overall bow is just heavy. And that's just an honest opinion. I don't think that's, I mean, I think if you weigh it all down, you're probably going to get rid of that vibration. As far as that really goes, I don't know, it shouldn't matter to you that much that a bow vibrates. Yeah, it's kind of sound, but really it's about the shooter's experience. If vibration doesn't bother you, then I don't think it's a big deal. For me personally, it's more important about how the bow holds, which we'll get the bow kind of built, throw different rest on there, throw a sight on there, throw a peep sight in it and everything like that, and then shoot it with everything on it and see how it really feels then.